Hey, how you doing? This is Robert King, owner of Harmony Homes Residential Assisted Living Facility and founder of ALU Assisted Living University. And in today's training, I'm coming from you live from Southwest Florida. That's why my eyes are squinching. I'm in this great sunshine, standing in front of Harmony Homes 1. Let me step out the way. That's the courtyard. I'm standing in the front yard of Harmony Homes 1, and in today's training, I'm going to answer the questions that everybody's been sending to me on different ways of owning a facility. So I put together a list of the top 10 questions that has come to me about owning a facility. So today, I figure I'd help you out a little bit and answer those questions for you. So here we go. The top 10 questions that people are asking from all over the world. Matter of fact, we got one come from Canada, so now that's an international thing that they want to know, how do I own one of these facilities? And I'm going to tell you that, man, you know, it's a lot easier than you think it really is. You all know my story, that in 2010, I bought this beautiful home for my then wife, and this was our personal residence. Had no clue about an assisted living facility, had never seen one in my life residentially. I've been in nursing homes and things like that where my great-grandmother, where my grandmother was staying, but I never had been in a residential assisted living facility, you know, just a regular home. And so in 2013, I filed for divorce, and in that process, I kept the home, and I really wanted to do something with this home. I had no idea what I was going to do with it, and you know my story. And so 2014 was a whole blank for me. You know, it was devastating. You know, that whole adultery thing in the home, that's no joke. And so that really tore me apart. I just say that to tell you that wherever you are in life right now, I've been there. And I know you can get past it. I know you can get through this adversity that you're dealing with and have some advancement in your life. And I don't know if this is the vehicle for you, but this is a vehicle. It became the vehicle for me. In 2014, I was devastated, had no idea what I was going to do with this big, beautiful home. And a friend of mine mentioned in August 2014 a group home. She said the words group home, and that just blew me away, and it stuck with me. And I found myself early the next morning, 2:48, waking up and researching group homes, and I come to discover that 4,000 people a day are turning age 85, and 70% of those are going to need assistance with their daily living. So I said, man, this is opportunity here. And then I said, well, I don't have the money to open up a large nursing home facility, and so I realized that I can do it in an assisted living facility. And so I opened up a residential assisted living facility. So I tell you my story just to let you know that, you know, you can do this, man, no matter what you're going through. Job loss, you know, marriage dissolvement, a sickness, a disease that was in your body. Now you've overcome that thing, and now you're ready to do something great in life. I mean, this could be the vehicle. And I thought I'd share with you the top 10 questions. So here we go. Number one, do I have to have a medical background to open a facility? The answer is no. You do not have to have a medical background to open up a residential assisted living facility. And that was amazing to me. I thought you had to have a medical background, but you do not have to have a medical background to open up a residential assisted living facility. So that answer is no. You do not have to have one. There's some qualifications, some certificates, but a medical background you do not have to have. Question number two, do I have to be licensed? Well, the answer is yes and no. Well, how can it be a yes and no answer? Well, no, you don't have to be licensed to open up an assisted living facility, but you do have to take a state exam depending upon which business model you choose. There's 4 business models of residential assisted living facility, and depending upon which one you choose will determine whether or not, hey, how you doing? I'm waving at my neighbor. Will determine whether or not you have to have a license. And that's why it's important to stay connected with me so I can share with you the 4 different business models. But in my business model 4, a residential assisted living facility license for 8, I didn't have to have a license, but I did have to take a course and then take a state exam, and I guess that gives me a license to open a facility. So the answer is yes and no, depending upon the business model. And getting the actual certificate and the license through the state is not very difficult. You take a 42-hour course in Florida, answer 100 questions on a state exam, and boom, you can now have your facility open. The third question, will my insurance be very expensive? No. I have a big, beautiful facility here, 4-bedroom, license for 8. In that courtyard right there is a big pool, and I thought my insurance to cover all this would be very expensive, but for my facility and for my home, my insurance annual premium is only $1,600 a year, and that covers everything. You know, somebody slip and fall and this, that, and other. So no, you don't have to have no very expensive insurance to start your assisted living facility. Number 4, do I have to own the house? Very good question. A very good question. No, you do not have to own the house. You have to have access to the house. Let me explain that. The state of Florida simply says that if you have access to the house, be it a renter, you're leasing it, or you own it, you can open up a facility as long as it's approved by your local zoning. So you don't have to own it. I own this home, but Harmony Homes 2 that I'm in negotiation with right now, it will be a lease. It'll be a lease to own situation. All the state wants to see is that when you turn your application in, that you have access to the property and the legal right to make it an assisted living facility. So that takes you off the hook. You may own your own home right now and you don't want to open a facility in that home, but you want to open one somewhere else, you can do that. Believe me, there's tons of buyers out there who's looking to, or landlords who's looking to lease their properties, and they don't have any buyers for it, or people who can lease it. They'll be glad to do business with you. Just do not be afraid to negotiate. Do not be afraid to ask them about whether are they willing to let you use their facility, their home, as an assisted living facility. So no, you do not have to own the home. Question number 5, do I have to have a nurse on payroll? Must I have a nurse on payroll? The answer is no. Again, depends upon which business model you choose. I am a residential assisted living facility, a license for 8, and I have a standard license. So as a standard license, I'm not required to have a registered nurse on call 24/7. And that makes it obviously less expensive for me to run my business because of that, which means I have a certain group of people I can bring into my facility. So no, you do not have to have a nurse on call if you go for the same business model I have. There are other licenses levels that require you to have an RN, and we'll discuss that more throughout some more training. But for my model, business model 4, residential assisted living facility license for 8, standard license, I do not have to have a nurse on duty. Question number 6, do I have to provide transportation? Again, the answer is no. You are a small business in a small facility, licensed for 8. You don't have a huge budget, so you don't have to provide transportation. What you have to do is you have to inform the incoming residents and their family that they're responsible for transportation to doctor's appointments and things like that. We have a system out here called Lead Trans Passport, where everybody in our facility is approved on Passport, which means Lead Tran will come pick them up and take them basically anywhere. I believe it's within a 50 to 75 mile radius for like $12 round trip. You can't beat that with a cab. You can't beat that with Uber. So that's a very inexpensive way to allow them to go out and do things outside of the compound. But you personally, as the business, do not have to provide the transportation, just transportation arrangements. Now, we're fortunate enough to have a company truck, which I'll tell you about later in another training on how we got it. So if there's emergencies or situations like that, yeah, I will make sure the residents get where they need to go. This is my promise to the resident. We don't provide transportation, but we're not going to let you miss an appointment. You're not going to miss a doctor's appointment at all. We won't make that happen. So worst case scenario, we'll get you there. So the answer is you do not have to provide transportation. All right, question number 7. Do I have to have a chef on duty? In other words, do I have to have a chef that comes and cooks? No, you don't have to have a chef. What you have to have is a menu that is approved by a dietitianist, and you have to follow that menu. Now, it gives you the menu, it gives you the ingredients. So when you hire your caregivers, we call them universal caregivers. Simply means they pretty much do everything. When you hire them, you want to make sure you have some people that's mature enough that knows how to follow ingredients so they can prepare the meals. So no, you do not have to have a chef. Now, it's my desire one day, and maybe it'll be Harmony Homes number 5 or number 6, where we have a custom laid out home that has a chef there on a regular basis. Well, obviously, if we do that, we're going to have higher premiums for you to come in and be a resident, but that's down the road. So to answer your question, question number 7, do you have to have a chef on call? Not at all. Question number 8, do I have to accept Medicaid and Medicare? No, you don't have to accept Medicaid and Medicare. We've been in business now a year. At the time of this taping, we have 7 residents licensed for 8, and none of them are on Medicaid, Medicare. Our pay is private pay. So you can set your structure up where it's strictly private pay. Now, we are currently engaging in becoming qualified to accept Medicaid and Medicare in the event that need arises. However, it's not necessary for you to start your business. You can start your facility without having Medicaid and Medicare. And I assure you, the residents are out there, the people are out there looking for places that can afford your facility. You want to stay connected with me, I'm going to be teaching on my system that I put in place called Accelerated House Fulfillment System. I'm going to show you how to fill that house quickly through using these techniques. So to answer that question, you do not have to take Medicaid and Medicare. Question number 9, can I have an all-female or all-male facility? Absolutely. This is your business. This is your residential assisted living facility. And if you choose to have an all-male facility, yes, you can. All-female, yes, you can. All-vet, yes, you can. All ex-motorcyclists, all ex-principals, all ex-doctors. I mean, you can set and market your facility for whatever you want it to be. It is your facility and your business. So yes, you can have it all male, all female. It could be any way you decide to make it happen. Of course, if you limit it in a certain area, obviously you're going to limit your pool of potential residents. But you can do that. Of course, obviously, if you have a male-female mix, you can't put male and female in the same room unless they're married. That's just how the rules are. So yes, you can have an all-male. Yes, you can have an all-female facility. And the final question, how do I get started? That final question, how do I get started, is a very good question. Well, when I first began this process in 2014, August 2014, when I put my first application in, there was nobody there to teach me, nobody to show me the steps, nobody to give me a checklist. It was very confusing, and it cost me money because I did things I didn't have to do, and I did some things that I wasn't supposed to do, and then I didn't do some things I should have done. By the time the inspector came, I got to tell you right now, I failed every one of my first inspections. And I don't have a problem with telling you that because I had no idea what they wanted. I had no idea what they was looking for because nobody showed me how to do it. Nobody guided me. Nobody directed me. And so I failed them. Well, Assisted Living University is what I created to help you through this process. It's a four-day course that's designed to go A to Z to help you understand how to get involved in this business. This business opportunity is absolutely amazing, and you can be a part of it. I got him. Thank you, dear. Hey, I'm right outside the house of Assisted Living Facility. That's the caregiver. She's looking for one of our residents. That's Big Bill walking back and forth. I got him, Wanda. I got my eye on him. That's Big Bill walking back and forth, but that's all cool because it's all live, right? So, yes. I'm going to show you how to do this thing. I'm going to show you how to open, own, and operate your own assisted living facility. Stay connected. Stay with me. Plug in with us. Go to alfownership.com. Give us your email and your address and your email, your name, so we can stay in touch with you. You never miss one of these trainings. When you see this training and it's doing you some good and it's doing some value and it's adding some value to your life, make sure you share them. Make sure you can put a comment down and make sure you share it to somebody else because we want to spread the word. Let me tell you what the goal is for Assisted Living University. My goal is to directly touch 1,000 people and assist them in opening their own facility. 1,000. My personal goal for Harmony Homes Care is 10 facility in 10 years. But my goal for my company, for Assisted Living University, is touching 1,000 people and directly helping them open, own, and operate their facility. And I'm going to put everything in place you need so you can get step-by-step instructions on how to make this baby work for you like it's working for us. Man, we're excited about this. Again, if you're watching this and it's doing you some good, it's helping you think about this, it's inspiring you to do this, it's letting you know that this can be done and you can do this. If you believe that, then stay connected with me. I don't know if any other person out there that's teaching you this. You know, very rarely in our community do people share with you what they did to become successful. But nowadays, people are beginning to say, you know what, let me tell somebody else what I did. You know, you're blessed to be a blessing. And so I want to make sure you get this thing in your spirit that yes, you can do this. You can open, own, and operate a successful business, and it doesn't have to take you a long time. Hey, stay connected. I appreciate you listening to me today. I'm going to close with you like I always close. And remember, if this thing is blessing you, if this training is helping you, make sure you like it, make sure you comment, and make sure you share it with somebody else so it can be a blessing to them as well. But let me close the way I always close, and that is when your heart is right with God and your desire is to please God, God is obligated to bring you into the company of the people that you need to know, to the knowledge of the things that you need to know that is critical to your success and destiny in life. And I'm telling you, you can have one of these. You can have one of these, and you can make it happen. God bless you. See you next week.